And welcome to Microcasting St. Louis today. Sorry I didn't get to upload a forecast today. I'm actually now making this, which is regarding Hurricane Harvey, now a Category 4 on the Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale, with winds of over 130 miles an hour. So this is a very strong storm. As it does head in, we are actually seeing isolated tornadoes now throughout this line of storms, and it just hasn't been good. Very strong winds now, hurricane force, are hitting. This thing is about to make landfall any minute now, so it's just a matter of time before Harvey does decide to make landfall. Its eye starting to become a little bit more ragged as land interaction does begin to weaken it. Unfortunately, yes, Harvey is going to be causing quite a few impacts. And we're going to be seeing water all the way from over here, all this water rushing in at over 130 miles an hour into shore. That means we could have waves of up to 12 to 14 feet high. So these are very high waves. This thing is more intense than originally expected and has been. Harvey's actually pretty unique. It actually started down here, kind of died around this point, and then it went up. And now we're right around this point where it's going to strike. It's unfortunate. This is the first Category 3 or above hurricane that we have had hit the United States in over 11 years. It's not a good hurricane to be in, and a lot of people in Texas are not evacuating for it. Let's actually take a look at the wind speed. So if we go to the super res velocity, we see here, if I get this here, let's use the inspector. I don't have the inspector. Either way, you can see here winds well over 140 miles an hour. In this storm, you can see up to 150. That might even be 155 mile an hour winds. And oh my god, if this does have those winds, it could even be up to Category 5. This could be a Category 5 landfall, which would be crazy. It's probably not. It's probably still that Cat 4. It's definitely a Category 4, although I think that it could be a 5. Probably not, but could be. This is where the bulk of the winds are. We're seeing well over hurricane force winds now. Over these areas, I'm seeing winds, major hurricane force up to 120, 130 miles an hour here, hitting right here. So that's there. And then we got this bulk of wind, which is probably Category 5 intensity. It very suddenly started to form, but it is Category 5 winds. I guarantee you that's what that blob is. Down here, those are still only Category 4. Still pretty damaging, and if we go to storm relative velocity, off the charts, hurricane force winds everywhere. And if we take a look here at the spectrum width, which is the speed that the clouds are moving at, we're seeing those moving pretty fast. Let's take a look at the accumulations, the storm total accumulations. We haven't actually seemed to have too much rain according to this. We're breaking, yeah, it actually has been pretty significant. We're breaking 5 inches. This is a problem, and Harvey is going to be bringing in more and more rain as time does go on, and it's just not a good situation. So Harvey is about to make landfall. It's going to do it within the next hour or two. It's going to be a very unfortunate event. Excuse me. This isn't all we have to talk about. Let me actually open up my Google Chrome here. And if we go to the Hurricane Center, we can see what they're officially thinking. And officially, we do have a Category 4 almost at landfall with winds of 130 miles an hour, which is nuts that it's still strengthening as it is making landfall. It's really starting to bear down on Texas. And this is a nutso storm. It's got a those 130 mile an hour winds and I think a 930 millibar or so pressure, we can actually go to tropicaltidbits.com for that. Yeah, this is much like a classic tropical update. But look at that. That is amazing looking. That's an amazing looking storm. And those 130 mile an hour winds are definitely there. The storm is not going to intensify much more. It is a Category 4, and it will remain that way. Probably for a little while. Let's go to just some of the forecast models real quick. The H-Wharf is the one that we're just going to be looking at in particular. It shows it as a Category 3 right now, which obviously it is stronger than that. And the H-Wharf is notorious for overestimating intensities. So if it's underestimating the intensity, you can see this was a truly unexpected event. So it actually underestimated the intensity by a good margin. But yeah, the storm, this is expecting it to go inland, but here's where it's nuts. If I go back just once more to storm info, look at this. This is all the models that we look at. Look at that spread. We're seeing a loop. We don't know where the loop's going to be and if it's going to go back out into water. It's nuts. So we'll just have to see what happens when we get there. You can expect the intensity to drop. Hurricane warnings everywhere. Tropical storm warnings in some places. And this is expected to still be a tropical storm by 5 days out. Which, this is, I'm going to be honest right now, leading up to a catastrophic, absolutely catastrophic situation. I don't mean to, cause alarm, but here's what we got. We got a major hurricane with winds of 130 miles an hour. That's going to stall with winds of over 115 miles an hour for 12 hours over this place, dumping over 2 feet of rain, possibly. Then it's going to continue to stall. It's still a hurricane with winds of over 75 miles an hour. And it'll still be dumping rain up to 4 days out in the same places. And then by 5 days out, it'll move out a little bit. But it's just, it's not good. It's not good at all. And I'm not particularly excited over this. So here's what we got. We got Harvey at 9:57 according to the GFS. Obviously, it always underestimates the intensity of these things. Look at all the rain that it expects. It expects this to last... How many days out is that? That's a week. It's just under a week from now. So here I'm gonna go to the precipitation and do total accumulated precipitation. Any of the yellow that you see here is over 2 feet. Look at that. That is all Harvey. This yellow area here. Most of that is Harvey. Look at it. You can actually see the track of it as it goes inland. It's just going to be a bad situation there for flooding as well. The winds are not much of a factor. If we do go to winds, though, we can see that the winds are also not in this storm's favor. Well, not in Texas's favor. Well, that's all I really have to say regarding this situation. I hope that everything does turn out okay in Texas. I hope you did like this video. If you did, hit the like button. If you didn't, you can hit the dislike button. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye. Bailey.